See, today we are going to discuss very important concept related with the project, related with the interview. Everywhere this concept plays very important role. Okay, so we should be very much comfortable about this. Even in the interviews, actually more concentration will be given on that topic. If there is the core Java interview, definitely few questions will be on this topic. So we are going to start this one, collection framework. Collection framework. Very interesting, very important topic. Okay. So see, actually already we have worked with a collection of object. So simply see, this collection framework is a framework actually, which is used to work with a collection of object. It's used to work with a collection of objects. So whenever you guys have to work with the collection of object, whenever you guys have to work on the collection of object, we can just go for the collection framework. Okay. So, but you may think that already we have gone through the array. We have already gone through the array. Okay. In array, we observe the array of object. Array of, we can say object. Array of object. That array of object is also used to work with the collection of objects only. Collection of objects. Then why collection framework is that? Why collection framework? Okay, so already we have discussed, there are some disadvantages of array. There are some disadvantage of array. From that one, more important disadvantage is what? More disadvantage is what? So even though Java array is more dynamic in nature, that is what? We allocate the memory by using a new operator. We allocate the memory by using a new operator. Still its size is fixed. Size is fixed. Size is fixed. Once memory is get allocated. Memory is get allocated. So size is fixed. Array size is fixed. Array size is fixed once memory is get allocated. That is we cannot increase the size. We cannot increase or shrink, or we can say decrease the size. Decrease the size once memories get allocated. And because of this drawback, while working with the array, it leads for a wastage of memory or a shortage of memory. That is what the one drawback. Then the second drawback is what? Only one type of element. One type of elements can be stored in array. Only one type of elements we can store in array. That means that if I have created integer array, I can store only integer element. If I have created a float array, I can store only float element. If I have created the double array, I can store only double element. Or even if I have created the employee type of array, that is what the array of object, then again I can store only employee type of elements in that. Okay. So, but if I have to store the different type of element in array, or I have to work with the collection of object with a different type, in that case this fails. So solution to both the problems is collection framework. We can say. That means what? Whenever we guys have to work on a collection of elements, whenever we have to work on the collection of objects, exactly like an array, then we should go for the collection framework to overcome these problems. these problems. But again, we can say, we can say array is the fastest data structure. Array is fastest data structure. So array is the fastest data structure. So whenever we guys have to traverse the array, we have to just display the elements. Okay, so in that cases, we should always prefer array, not a collection framework. We should always prefer the array, not a collection framework. But if we have such a kind of requirement, then we should go for the collection framework. We should go for the collection framework. With this one, actually, as a framework, collection framework. Framework is nothing but why we call it as the framework, because this collection framework have the ready-made classes and the interface. What I'm saying, see, it have the collection of, see, collection of ready-made classes and interfaces. Classes and the interface. So already it has been defined. So ready-made collection of classes and interfaces to overcome drawback of array. Okay, so already we have so much of ready-made classes and the interfaces. Okay, so that we can use to replace the array. So as the classes are ready-made, interfaces are ready-made, that means what built-in methods we can use. So while working with array, we guys have to put the logic. For example, for searching, for example, for sorting. Okay, so if I have to go for the deletion, if I have to go for addition, in that one, we have to write the particular code. Okay, but here actually in the collection framework, they have given so many classes and the interface, so many classes and the interfaces that we can use here in the programs directly. Okay, so as ready-made classes and interfaces are there, so simply what we can do, we can create the object of that classes. Okay, we can just invoke the methods and we can perform the operations on that. So because of that, it is very easy to work with the collection framework, and hence whenever we guys have to transfer the data from one layer to another layer with the multiple records, with the multiple objects or with the multiple elements, in that cases we should always prefer a collection framework. That is, from whenever we have to send the data from the controller layer to service layer, from service layer to the DAO layer, in that cases, or reverse again, DAO layer to service and the controller, in that cases collection framework plays very important role. So all the DTO object, data transfer object, will have this collection as a member, okay, to send the data from one layer to another layer. So that is what the advantage of this one exactly. Okay, and here as the size can be increased or size can be shrink. So actually, as here that this was the drawback with array, but same can be removed by using the collection framework. So here in the collection framework, we have the classes and the interfaces that we can use. Okay, if which size can be increased or size can be shrink according to the requirement. So automatically even size can be increased. Okay, so in that cases we don't need to think about that array will be get full or that collection will be get full. Okay, it will be get increased as element will be get added. And if you want to delete the element, okay, you can save that memory. We have the various methods there, like trim to size method is there. So assume if we have some empty blocks, so we don't want to use that, so we can just we can use the trim to size method and we can make that blocks available to the further memory allocation. So this is what basically the advantage of the collection framework and same disadvantage of array. So in a very simple way, I can say about the collection. Collection is a collection of classes. See, collection framework, in a very simple word, I'm trying to say this. See, collection framework is a collection of classes and interfaces, collection of classes and interfaces used to overcome drawback of array, used to overcome drawback of, I can simply say it is used to overcome the drawback of array. That is, I can say that is used to work on, used to work on collection of objects, I can say collection of objects. Okay, so that means what, in collection we can store only non-primitive type. What I can say, non-primitive type, we can store only non-primitive type. No doubt, if you guys have to work on the primitive, then we can convert from the primitive to non-primitive by using the wrapper classes, and then we can store into the collection frame. Okay, so all the classes here, I can say all the classes and interfaces are present in Java dot, what I can say, Java dot util package. All the classes and interfaces from the collection framework are present in the Java dot util package. So this is, see, if you guys have to learn about the collection framework, if you guys have to work on the collection framework, what you need to understand, just you need to understand what are the various classes, and the interfaces present in the collection framework. Okay, and then why to use these. Okay, if you understand that, then collection framework is very simple for you guys. There is nothing in the collection framework. Okay, so we'll just try to understand various interfaces present in collection framework. Okay, collection framework, we can say. Okay, framework. Okay, I just show you the important one. For example, see, we have the collection itself is one of the interface. Actually, collection is one of the interface present over here. So it is actually, I can say, it is the base interface. From the collection. It is the base interface from the collection framework. And you guys know that base interface means what? It is the parent interface. It is what? The parent interface. And you guys know parent interface method will be get available to the child interface. Parent interface methods will be get available to the child interface. So here all the common methods with the multiple interfaces actually have been put here in the collection. So understand that all the common methods are belongs to the collection. Okay, it represents the collection of object, we can say. Then we have the another one interface. I can say list. Okay, I can say list. Actually, this list is used, or it's used to represent again the collection of object only. Okay, collection of object only. So all are used to represent a collection of object. But you can add duplicates element. We can add duplicates elements. So duplicate elements are allowed in the list. So whenever you guys have to work on the duplicate elements, you guys have to add the duplicate objects. You guys have to add the duplicate records. So in that cases, you have to use the list. We have to use the list as one of the interface, we can say. And no doubt, list is a child of the collection framework, I can say. Okay. Then we have the another one interface. I can say set. Again, it is similar with the list only. That means what? It is the child of collection only. But duplicates are not allowed. So that means what? Only unique elements. Only we can say unique elements. So I can say here I can say here duplicates are allowed. Duplicates, duplicates are, I can say, not allowed, not allowed by using the set. So whenever you guys have to store only unique elements, whenever we have to store only unique elements, so in that cases, we should go for the set. And whenever we have to work on the, whenever we guys have to work on the duplicate elements, then we should go for the list action. Okay, then there is the third one, again the important one. There is the third one, we can say map. We can say map is there. So actually this map is again the different type of collection. Whenever we guys have to store the data, store the data in key value pair, key value pair. Whenever we have to store the data in a key value pair, then we should go for the map. See, in a set only one value will be there, in a list only one value will be there, but in a key, in a map, actually we have to store the data as a key value pair, and no doubt both key and values will be object here. Both the key and value will be object. And again we can say here actually key can store the key will be unique, I can say. No duplicate element will be get allowed as a key, but value can be duplicate. Value can be duplicate. Like this one, other interfaces, we can have the queue. Okay, we can have the queue like this one. So actually my its queue is not working over here. Okay, so you can say, see here actually queue, I will see so that queue is what it is, one of the data structure. Queue is one of the data structure in which elements are worked on the first in first out data structure. That is what the FIFO, first in first out type of data structure. So that is what it is, like a normal queue. It is like a normal queue actually. So whenever we guys have to work on that kind of data structure, we can go for that. There is another one, we can say there is the stack kind of a data structure. Stack kind of a data structure. So that means what, last in first out. The element which is been entered at the last, that will be get removed the first. So we can have so many, like so many interfaces are here, but these are the important one. These are the important one. One is the collection, list, set, and a map. Okay, list can have the duplicate elements, set can have only unique elements, and map can store the data. Map can store the data in a key value pair. So that is the reason actually. See, actually, as collection framework is used to overcome the drawback of array, then why this one? So because of this usability. So according to your requirement, you can go for list, or you can go for the set, or you can go for the map. Okay, but again there might be a question from your mind that all the interface will have only the abstract methods. All the interface will have the abstract method, then how it will be get used? So actually the class, there are some classes, okay, that classes this implements these interfaces. Okay, so for example, see, I do have the class as an array list. We have the class as a array list is there, which uses array as an abstract data type. So internally it is array like data structure. Okay, so duplicate element if we have to use, you can go for the array list, or you can see there is another one class linked list. We can go for the linked list, or you can go for the vector. We can go for the vector action. So whenever you guys are working on the list, okay, you have to work with the array list, linked list, or the vector. Okay, these are the three classes. These are the three classes which implements the list interface. So basic difference between array list and a linked list is that, okay, so it uses the linked list type of data structure here. So consecutive memory will be not there in the case of a linked list, but in the array list there is the consecutive memory. That means what? Time interval between two consecutive element is constant in case of a array list, but time interval between two consecutive element is not constant in case of a linked list. So in a traversing case, array list is better than the linked list. Okay, but if you guys have to remove the element from the in between position, or if you have to add the element from the in between position, in case of a array list, we need to perform the shifting. We need to perform the shifting. But in case of a linked list, that shifting is not necessary. We just have to link that node. Okay. So hence, to perform the in between operation, insert a delete operation. So linked list is best than the array list. So that is what the advantages and the disadvantages of this one. So according to again requirement, we can either go for the array list or the linked list we can say. Then we have the vector class. Okay, what is exactly this vector class? So actually this vector class is later will be get added in the collection. Initially it was not part of the collection framework. Okay, and this vector have its some own methods that we can use, that are called as legacy methods we can say. So vector have some own method which are not from the collection. That is one thing. And second thing, actually it is nearly or exactly similar with array list. Exactly similar with array list. The basic difference between the array list and the vector is that methods of the array list are not synchronized. See, methods of the array list are not synchronized, whereas methods of the vector are synchronized. That is what the thread safety. No doubt, we will see that what is exactly the synchronization or the thread safety in the multi-threading. But here we can say in a multi-threaded environment, array list is not a good. In multi-threaded environment, we should always prefer the vector. So that is what the difference is here. So either you can go for array list, linked list, or the vector. In case of a list, wherever we have to work on the duplicate elements, I can say. Okay, exactly same way. If I go to the set, actually, this set have various classes. For example, we have the hash set is there. We have the hash set is there, and there is another one. We can have the linked hash set. Linked hash set we can say. So these are the two classes actually, hash set and the linked hash set. So again, both are used to implement a set. That means that whenever we guys have to go for the unique elements, whenever you guys have to go for the unique elements, that means that you don't have to store the duplicate elements. So in that case, either you can go for the hash set or you can go for the linked hash set, or there is another one too. Okay, I can say tree set. Okay, I can say tree set is that. Okay, so this is actually it have the another one interface actually, sorted set I can say. Sorted set. This sorted set is an interface. It is an interface only, and that interface is been implemented by tree. It is been implemented by the tree. Okay, so this hash set, linked hash set, these are the classes, and the tree set is also class. Sorted set is the child of the set. So methods of the set will be get available to the sorted set, I can say. Sorted set. Then when to go for hash set, when to go for linked hash set, or when to go for the tree set. So here we need to understand. Actually, this hash set will not maintain insertion order. What I'm saying? Insertion order. That means what, in which order you guys have added the element, same order you will not get in while using a hash set. While using a hash set. For example, if assume I have added the Ram, then Sham, and then Jam. Okay, this is what my insertion order, Ram, Sham, Jam. But while displaying, you can see that if this order will be not there, it can have the any order. So insertion order is not guaranteed in case of a hash set. But if you guys want that insertion order, so you can go for the linked hash set. Otherwise, both are exactly same. So if you want insertion order maintain. Insertion order maintain. So if you guys want insertion order should be get maintained, you want insertion order, so please go through the linked hash set, not a hash set. Okay. And finally, when to go for the tree set? So actually, by tree set, store the data in ascending order. Ascending order we can say. So whenever you guys want the data must be in ascending order. Whenever the data must be in the ascending order, so you have to use tree set. Okay. If you have to want the insertion order should be maintained, linked hash set. And if you don't want insertion order, use the hash set. all three classes are used to implement a set. All these three classes are used to implement the set. That is what the duplicates are not allowed. Only unique elements can be stored. And here all these classes are used to implement the list, okay, where duplicates will be get allowed. Then we have the very important and the third interface actually. Very important and the third interface actually map, which stores the data in the key value pair. Okay, username, password. Okay, username, password. City with a pin. City with a pin. Like that one, we can add the data. So here actually, here, whenever we are going to use that, we have the again same classes. Like we have the class as a hash map. See what I'm saying? Hash map. Exactly same like this one. Hash map. Hash set. Hash map, hash set like that one. And usability is again the same. It does not maintain the insertion order. It will does not maintain the insertion order, we can say. So if you guys want the insertion order, we can have the linked hash map. Linked hash map, we can say. So what it will do? It is again exactly similar to that, just will maintain the insertion order. Will maintain the insertion order, we can say. And again here too actually we have the interface sorted. We have the sorted map. We have the sorted map. So this sorted map again have the class. Okay, that is what we call it as the tree. We can say map. Okay, exactly there. Tree map is there, so tree set is there. And usability is again exactly similar. So you can say it will store the data in the ascending order of a key. What I can say? Ascending order of a key. So this is how this needs to be get understanding. So if you guys understand this, then definitely in the collection nothing is there. In the collection nothing is there. Okay. So these are the interfaces and these are the classes which implements that interfaces. No doubt with that we have so many other classes and the interfaces. You guys can see usability will be exactly same. Just we need to understand exactly the concept or why we have to use that particular interface and the class like that. Hope it is clear. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any question, any doubt in this?
Sir, difference
Yes, sir, I have
set
question.
आणि
Yes, Shweta.
Actually ना एक recording stop केलाय.